They will give a presentation on the cybersecurity tests and common criteria certification. May I request Mr. Rathod to start with, and then Mr. Suresh Chandra will continue. Over to you.
Very good afternoon to one and all. Basically, Sahab has already told that after the lunch, it is very difficult, but it is not like that. We have to be alert. The cyber security is the equally important. उसमें तो अपना खाना तो खाना, रात की नींद भी उड़ जाती है सर. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि लोग जो है ऑफ मोड में रहेंगे. नाउ आई रिक्वेस्ट टू द डायरेक्टर, सीनियर डायरेक्टर STQC for their valuable presentation, and it will be really helpful because they are making some cyber resilience type of documents, and that L1, L2, L3, and that will definitely help for our power sector. Not only power sector, for all the sectors where the mandate portion is how the mandate portion can be comply, and the main power and HR will be how they will be make the aligning with the present regulation and the present framework of the cyber security. Sir, I welcome sir. And
thank you. Thank you. And regarding this presentation on common criteria, but before that, let me ask you one question. There are two things. One is educated, another is qualified. I think most of us, we are educated, but somehow we are not qualified in some of the areas. So like in our school or college, we are taking education, but until unless we are appearing in some exam, we are not qualified. So many of us are well educated, but we can't say that he is doctor something, he is engineer, he is doctor. So until unless you are qualified, you can't say you are educated. Similarly here, when I am talking about cyber security, everybody says that we are secure. You talk about any instrumentation, any device, any router, firewall, switches, anything, they will claim we are having secured item, secured device. What can we say? I will say yes, they are educated in that sense. But whether we can say they are qualified, we can't say. Like in our education, we are having a set criteria. That criteria is nothing but examination. They have to pass some examination, whether it is an objective test or essay writing or some descriptive questions like that. They are having pattern of questions, and on the basis of that qualification is there. Similarly, when we are talking about for any device, for any system, until unless we are having some criteria, we can't say that it qualify the requirement. So common criteria is one of the thing. It is nothing but a set of requirement. Those set of requirement, they are targeted towards security. And if any device, any system is complying to those requirements, that set of criteria, then we can say yes, it is certified, it is qualified for security. Before coming to the common criteria, let me give you some brief background regarding the various security certification and why they are required. I can take a typical example. Like when we are talking about security, so what we are securing? Like our Prime Minister or President, they are VVIP. So we are protecting them, and there is a layer of security for any VVIP. Similarly, when we are talking about our system, so who is the VVIP here? Basically, we are working for data. Whatever you are doing, you are generating the data. Like in your domain, this is the energy domain. So let us talk about SCADA system or any other system. So there you are collecting the data, and that data collection is through some sensors. You are having various type of sensor. I am just assuming and guessing what I have not seen any SCADA system. So you may be having some sensors, you may be taking out some data through those sensors, and then that data is going to somewhere for processing. After processing, you may be using that data for some purpose. So here security start from generation of the data. So like when you are taking out the data through some sensor, whether your sensor is producing the correct data, whether it is properly calibrated. So that's a different question. I am talking about security only. So let us come to the security part. So whatever data is coming, so that data, if it is stored in the local device, let us say IoT, so whether that storage mechanism is secure in that local device, number one. So this is first security critical loophole in your system. So whoever is creating the data, whether that data is securely stored. Like for example, some of the IoT like camera, they are having some pre-built storage mechanism. Like they can store, let us say 10 MB or 20 MB, not more than that. So whether that 10 MB, 20 MB, which is stored in that IoT device, it is secure, it's securely stored, number one. Number two, that device is transferring the data to some other place through network. So whether your network is secure, then you are storing somewhere in the server, whether your server is secure. So whether you are keeping the data securely in the server. Then other part, whoever is managing the server, whether he is dependable, have you given the right access right to the right person who can access that data. Now assume that everything is secure. You got certified your IoT, you are having secure channel also, you are having vulnerability assessment of your devices also like servers. Where we are missing after that? Now that data is stored in my server. Somebody will use that data. Who is that somebody? That somebody is your applications. You are having applications for that. Those applications are using those data. And those applications are not secure. So what I mean to say here, security here doesn't mean that if my IoT is certified, I am secure. If my network is certified, I am secure. My server is certified, I am secure. No. This is overall ecosystem. This is a overall ecosystem. In the overall ecosystem, I should have everything, whatever is the part of that system should be validated. That should have validation. What is the problem we are having in our country? We can buy anything. We are relying on the name only. Like if it is from some manufacturer, I am not naming any manufacturer, it's a very famous manufacturer. So you are just taking it. You are just buying it. You are not asking for any certification. See the scenario of other countries. They are not buying anything just like that. They are having a set criteria for everything. We are not having those criteria here. You may have read somewhere regarding Europe. They are having European cyber security. Those laws are there, and as per those laws, they are having compliance security requirement also. So whatever devices to be used in Europe, they should be certified as per some criteria. And that criteria is well defined. What will be the certification body? What type of lab will be there? who can test those devices, who can certify those devices. Otherwise, those devices cannot be used in their system. But this scenario is not there in our country. So just I mentioned in the beginning, we can buy anything. We are just saying the name. This is the name, this is the manufacturer name, it's very famous. So we are just buying it. We are not bothered about other issues. So there are various type of certification. I just mentioned you about the overall system. In that overall system, there are different types of requirement for each and everything. So here we are just targeting on common criteria. Common criteria, this is based upon international standard, ISO IC 15408. There is a separate group also who is working on this common criteria. Generally, they are making this standard, and ISO IC is releasing it. And simply in common criteria, it is called common criteria standard. There are 31 participating countries in that common criteria. It is called CCRA, Common Criteria Recognition Arrangement. So there are 31 participating countries. Out of 31 participating countries, 16 countries are certificate producing country, 15 are certificate consuming country. So means producing country means if they are certifying some product, that certificate is acceptable in all other countries. Okay, and consuming country here means they are accepting all those certificates from those countries. India is one of the certificate producing country, and here the certification body can be the government body only of that country. So here Ministry of Electronics and IT is the certification body for common criteria. I am heading common criteria from India side. And there are various committees at world over for different purpose. So like CCS, CCDB, like CCMC, they are there for different purpose for common criteria. And these committees chairs, it is rotated after every 2 years. So right now I am heading one of the committee also from India side. So in common criteria, as I mentioned you, this is based upon standard. And what is there in that standard? So let us discuss. And what is the CC? As just I mentioned you, it means to be used as the basis for evaluation of security properties of IT product and system by establishing a common criteria. So common criteria is nothing but we are having common requirement which are part of this standard. And why it is common criteria? Basically, this procedure also same. Every country is following the same procedure, same template. Everything is same. So that is why common criteria. It provides cost-effective evaluation of IT products performed to consistent standards, wider choice of evaluated products for consumer, greater understanding of consumer requirements, and greater access to market for developers. So this standard recently revised. Earlier there were 3 parts of this standard. Now there are 5 parts. So I am not reading out everything, but in brief I can explain you. This first part is introduction only. In second part, it talks about functional requirement, basically security functional requirement to be there in any product. And third part is security assurance requirement. So SFR, these are security requirement to be tested, and assurance requirement, they are part of your development life cycle. General model of this common criteria, you can see there is a owner. You can go from any side. You can see owner, value, asset. If somebody is the owner, he value the asset. Like power, asset is having the value, whatever is the asset. Owner impose countermeasure to reduce risk, and risk to asset. Risk is for asset. Similarly, you can see owner impose countermeasure that may possess vulnerability leading to risk, and risk is to the assets. So you can go from any side. Owner may be aware of vulnerability. You can see threat agent give rise to threats, like that. So these are various use cases. Evaluation concept and relationships. You can see there are assurance techniques and then evaluation. Assurance techniques produce assurance. Evaluation give evidence of assurance. Assurance giving confidence, and this confidence is available for owner also. So owner require confidence. That countermeasure, you can see, minimize risk to asset. The basic concept used in common criteria is target of evaluation. It is called TOE. So in any device, like it may be firewall, router, switch, any device you can talk. Wherever you are having security centric module in your device, that portion which is responsible for your overall security countermeasure, that is generally identified as TOE. TOE security policy, the rules that regulate how assets are managed, protected and distributed. So all these things, they are provided by the manufacturer. TOE security function, all parts that TOE that must be relied upon the correct enforcement of the TSP. So I am not going in detail there. Time constraint is there. So there are some other concept. Protection profile, security target. So you can have protection profile for similar type of devices, like for example firewall. So for firewall you can have a set of rules, set of security functional requirements, set of assurance requirement. You are making one document that is called protection profile, and that may be one of the standard or one of the standard document which can be used for any type of protection profile. So those protection profile can be issued by any country also. So like in India, if we are setting up our requirement for any device, for any instrument, like for any device, these should be the security requirement. And I'm capturing all those security requirement at one place. There is a defined template. That document become PP, and any government department then after that enforce that PP, that we will procure those devices if they are having compliance to a particular protection profile. After protection profile, a document is prepared. It is called security target document, and the laboratory which is evaluating all those SFR, they are focusing only on the security target document. Like in SDLC, it is SRS. So evaluation fundamentals. Our basic objective is to reduce risk. So that is the basic fundamental of evaluation. The basic structure you can see here. There are functional component and assurance component, as I mentioned at the beginning. There is a functional package, protection profile. After protection profile, you are having security target. Threat and policy, they are defined in any product, and on the basis of that, security objectives and security objectives for the environments are defined. And then on the basis of security objective, functional requirement, assurance requirements are defined, and then on the basis of security objective environment, requirements on the environments are defined. Thanks. I think I am not late. Thank you.
We'll keep our special program where
No, basically, whatever I told, I was serious also. Basically, this is the general problem. Really, wherever we are focusing, we are not focusing on the compliance part, and that is the critical part, very critical part. And that is the major problem in our country. You see any area, at one side.
I do agree with this, sir. कि हम तो रेडी हैं कंप्लायंस करने के लिए, हमारी इंडस्ट्री पूरा रेडी है, लेकिन हम क्या रहता है, हम जो है ना बाकी काम में उलझ जाते हैं और जो बेसिकली टारगेट वर्क है उसको कंप्लाई नहीं कर पाते। तो हमारी मोस्ट ऑफ द एनर्जी द वेस्टेज इन द other related activity rather than the targeted type of achievement activity. So that's my suggestion, that the focused approach has to be there and that has to be completed within the stipulated and the targeted time. Thank you very much.
I will advise you, all of you, see cost of quality and see what is the factor behind cost of quality. And that cost of quality is because of not doing something.
Thanks.